is what are the different restrictions once they're in the program? So again, back to the revenue side of things, how does that look with, let's say, like Hannah's question with the oil and gas? What happens if they have an oil and gas lease on their property or an agriculture grazing lease, something like that? How does that impact? Can they do that still with your program? How does that look?
Yeah, so really, as far as our program goes, our program is really a carbon lease. So any other kind of leases or other programs that take place outside of that, in a lot of cases, it doesn't necessarily conflict with the carbon program. So, for example, an oil and gas lease or something along those lines, in most cases, as long as it doesn't interfere with the program, really meaning that it would require any kind of clearing of the forest land, then in a lot of cases we can work with that, but we always want to make sure we, take a look at the details so that it's not going to be an issue.
Same goes for an agricultural lease. Typically, there wouldn't be any overlap with the program. And exactly like Matt said, as long as there's no impact on the trees, the forest.
Very good, very good. Hannah had a follow-up question to this, and I had never really thought about it, even though I probably should. I'm sitting in the Rocky Mountain region where the forests tend to burn every once in a while. There might not be an issue so much in Oregon or the West Virginia, Virginia area. But you had a good question of what happens if you're in this program and something happens outside of your control that radically reduces the amount of carbon that your forest can sequester, such as a forest fire, invasive species, mistletoe or beetles or something like that. What does that look like? Is there any guarantees built in? How does that look for the landowner?
Yeah, so we call that an unintentional reversal as a result of a natural disturbance event, whether it be a weather event, hurricane, tornado, ice storm, or a forest fire, or a pest or pathogen incident in the forest. And so each registry has a buffer account that requires us to contribute a certain percentage of the credits that we issue to that buffer account for that very purpose. So it's upwards of 20% actually of our crediting is going into that buffer account that's held by Vera. And so what that buffer account does is it's protecting against these unintentional reversals where your carbon stock would lower below what you're able to credit back. And so that account is like an insurance pool, is there to pay back the credit. So both us and the landowner are not held responsible if that situation were to occur.